All right, how's it going, everyone? Happy Tuesday. Hope everybody's having a good week so far. Just want to say welcome to the new subscribers. Thank you guys for subscribing. If you don't know, it's just me and two of my good friends who have been trading for a while, and finally starting to find some consistency. My good friend Fatty is basically killing it, and we just wanted to make these videos to go over our trades and our process, and just hopefully help whoever we can, you know, who's learning and new, because we know when we first started, it was so difficult. There wasn't that many people to learn from, and it just makes a huge difference to be able to watch other people and see how they trade and their mindset and thought processes on things, and it really helps. So it's just something that we wanted to do, just kind of give back to the community, and so we hope you guys enjoy, and hopefully you guys will be lifelong subscribers. We'll be doing this for as long as we can think of. So just want to dive into a few trades for me today and a couple of my trades from yesterday. The first one is IINN. Oops. So we're going to go into the 1 year here. Always start with the macro and then dive into the micro. So if you go to the 1 year chart, you actually go to the max, and this is a recent chart, and it's a newer ticker. There's no history. So when we saw this up on the day, I saw it a little late. It was already ripping through 6, which was the all-time highs. So, and also if you look here, it's a 75 million market cap and only an 8 million float. Well, this is shares outstanding, so I don't know exactly what the float is, but I know that the shares outstanding is only 8 million, and the float's going to be less than that. And if you don't know, the float is the shares available for the public to trade, and the shares outstanding is the total amount of outstanding shares that are available. And some of those can be locked in from insiders and people who own the company and stuff like that. It's shares that they have, and it's not available for the public. So what you look for is you want to look for a low float stock. The stock did have some kind of like agreement news, so you got to think it's a low float stock with news hitting all-time highs. That, and it's rotating the float and trading amazing volume. So that right there alone was basically all I needed to want to just trade this, and basically just trade only this. All the eyes were on it. This was a really hot stock today, and so I'm just going to kind of dive into how I traded it. Let it rip up, and then it had this nasty pullback, held 6 really well, and then started to kind of grind back up, made a little higher low. And as you can see, I set my little wedge here, a little flag, whatever you want to call it. Had descending volume. So all that means is you had really nice volume. You get a lot of buyers pushing the stock up, and then not a lot of sellers. There wasn't a whole bunch of selling pressure and volume trying to push this thing down. The volume was decreasing, and the stock was holding up and making higher lows here, holding all-time highs. So I really liked that. And then once it perked out, I'm just looking for, like, when I set this, I'm looking for like just a trend basically, and I'm looking for a trigger to buy when it's perking out of that trend. So I took, and this is going to sound ridiculous, but I only took like 10 shares here at 679, and we consolidated for a few minutes before really kind of perking up. I was up around 10-11% and didn't sell. Was trying to stay patient, because it doesn't just go up and it doesn't just go down. It has pullbacks, it has bounces. So you kind of got to hold through these pullbacks a little bit, especially in a hot market. So pulled back, consolidated for a little bit, and then once we perked back up towards the highs, I got emotional and I just sold. I sold for like 12% and just took my single, just in case high of day stuffed, and which it pretty much did. And actually, I had my limit set at 8, and I could have top ticked it there at 8. But you're not looking to bottom tick or top tick, and what that means is you're not looking to buy the very bottom here, you know, because the bottom tick was 619. You're not expecting that to buy at 619, and I'm not expecting to sell at 8. You just want to take the meat of the move. So took my quick snipe there, stopped watching it for a little while, and good thing I did sell because this would have stopped me out down in here. But then we got a nice perk back, broke high of day, and as you can see here, it was just consolidating, very low volume, and I didn't like this crack, but I also thought that shorts were kind of piling into this, and if it failed to break down, it could have another squeeze. And I took so I'm going to adjust this here so I can show you how I had it. I kind of had it like this. And so when it perked out of here, I mentally bought some shares at like 713. As soon as it perked out of here, I was mentally buying some shares. And then when it cracked right back down towards 7, I was like, yeah, I'm out. And then that was that. And then I stopped watching it. And then it held, as you can see, it held really nicely. And then finally some volume started to come in, and we got that perk back up, and we ended up touching a high of 959 before we started to fade again. So definitely could have had another snipe there. I know Lycus, who's one of my other buddies, who's a part of our little group. I know he doesn't make any video lessons, which he's just not a very good talker. You know, it's something he's working on, and I'm not saying he's not a good talker, but you know, maybe publicly he's not a good public speaker. So it's something he's trying to work on a little bit, and I'm gonna try to get him to start making some gosh darn video lessons. But yeah, he took some, I think, at 7 and sold into this perk here. Right? Is that right? Yes. He alerted it again. I was kind of mad I didn't take this little trigger here. I love these little triggers and these little flag patterns. I was kind of upset I didn't take this and kind of take the snipe, but then again, I'm happy I didn't, because if I didn't sell here, I would have definitely stopped out. But here, as you can see, it did hold, trend held, perked out, got a nice another snipe, and that was basically that. I was kind of done with it. One stock I was really upset that I missed this morning. And before I get into this, I'm actually going to dive into my overnight, and that was BKKT. As you guys all know, that was the mover of the day yesterday. I took shares, and man, it's so hard to see. Okay, so I snagged shares here, and for some reason, I don't know why this is like this, but remove that. It was really just kind of showing the descending volume. Which is good because you have a lot of volume, strong buyers coming in, then just consolidating. It's just consolidation, really, making the ABCD pattern, holding VWAP, not a lot of selling going on, no selling pressure, and then volume starts to pick back up, and we squeeze. So I was an idiot. I snagged shares here. I should have added when it broke high of day, and then I should have sold into this move. And that's basically what Fatty and Lucas did. They were buying it in here and selling in here up into the high mid 20s. I literally snagged shares at like 16.90 and sold at 18, like an idiot. So I was really upset with my sell there. And then later on in the day, it ended up doing this exact same thing. As you can see, descending volume, and we perked through the flag there, into the close. Got a really nice push. Held trend really nicely. Started to create another flag here, and it reminded me of Mark. If you look at Mark, I gotta go back one more day. One second. Okay. Same thing. I snagged here. I mean, Mark, I forget when I traded this. Was this yesterday? No, it was Friday. This was Friday. I did snag shares here and took like a little snipe on it. But then I was holding up really nicely. Fatty swung shares overnight. I just uploaded his video lesson from Friday, and so, or from yesterday, and he got a really nice like 150% overnight play. And then, so I mean, it worked really nicely. We got a really nice gap up, and so BKKT, so many damn tickers. Was kind of looking for the same thing. Was going to see if this could pull like a D-walk or something, or a mark again, and it can gap up. But woke up to a gap down, and I tried to sleep in a little bit, and it was coming back, and I was like, all right, I'm just going to go back to sleep because I'm just hoping this is going to squeeze. And I had such small size. I only had a share. I had one share. I know, ridiculous, but yes, one share. And I know you're probably thinking like, wow, this guy is only trading with 10 shares, one share, like he's not making any money. And you have to remember, it's not all about the money. It's about the process, because I'm just trying to get consistent. I haven't been consistent because I've been switching from OTCs to listed, you know, and it's just been just back and forth for the past few years. And so I'm finally finally getting some sort of consistency, and I'm just not ready to trade with big size yet. It would be dumb of me to just all of a sudden trying to throw big size in there. You're going to get emotional, and you're just not going to trade the same. It's going to be really difficult for you. And so you have to trade with super small size to whatever makes you comfortable. And then as you gain consistency and confidence, you can start sizing up. Even all the big traders, you know, if you like stocks to trade, Bryce and Matthew Monaco, Kyle Williams, Jack Kellogg, all those guys didn't start trading with huge size. They all started trading with small size. They got confident, got consistent, and then over time they were able to size up, and before you know it, they were making millions of dollars. So that's the game plan. It's not. So just realize that when I'm saying I'm trading, I took 10 shares here, you know, I'm just getting consistent. I'm trying to gain some confidence. I know it's a hot market all of a sudden. It's been difficult, you know, in the slow market. That's why I haven't had any size. Plus, I'm not consistent. So once the consistency comes and I'm confident, I'm gonna start slapping full size, and before you know it, I'm gonna be up 100K, and it's just gonna be just like that by the snap of my fingers. Before you know it, and then an outsider looks at me and it's gonna be like, damn, he's up 100K, like he's just killing it, you know, making $1,000 a day, yada yada. But it didn't start that way. It started with my 10 shares making $10 a trade, yada yada. So yes, held this overnight, got a gap down. I was also I ended up just cutting it market open. I lost like 30%, but I literally only lost like $3. So that's why I trade small size. Could you imagine having full size in this and losing 30%? Not going to be a happy camper. XCLA was another one I held overnight. It was kind of like the same thing, holding that flag. I was really, really upset. I missed this and this. And as you can see, this flag pattern is hot. It's just really hot right now. We're seeing it a lot. And you can see that descending volume to where it got a lot of volume, ripped up, and then consolidated, made higher lows, holding VWAP. And then volume comes back in, you get the squeeze. Same thing with right here. You get the squeeze on volume, and then it consolidates, makes higher lows, descending volume. Volume comes back in, we perk through the flag and get the squeeze. And so those are the snipes that you're looking to take, and at least I'm looking to take. And it's actually my favorite pattern right now. And if you haven't heard of Dan Irish, he's got a lot of YouTube videos. Check him out on YouTube. Check him out on Twitter and stuff like that. And we actually bought his DVD, and I've been watching that like a madman. I actually watched it like 3 times now. So I took that a lot from him, and it's actually been working out fairly well for me, but just not this time. Not really with the overnight for these two. Just sold this in the morning for a small loss, and that was that. And that's exactly why I'm trading small size. So that was one of my losses. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's where I want to get into. Where are you at? So I woke up in the morning and I was upset, right? Because you wake up and you gotta wake up a little extra early. I'm in California, so it's Pacific time. Market opens at 6:30, so I think pre-market opens at like 4. And that's fucking early, you know what I'm saying? No one wants to wake up at 4 because you're holding an overnight and you want to wake up early to make sure you're all good with your overnight and see how it gaps up or not. So I woke up, sold XELA right away, and was like, all right, BKKT looks like it could turn around here. I'm going to wait until market open to see what that does before I sell it. That's why I took 30% loss on that. I only took like a 10% loss on XCLA, but I ended up sleeping in. I was like, fuck this. I'm upset. I'm tired. I'm just going to sleep in and then check to see what's going on like around 7:30, and completely missed this move. It was beautiful. MYSC, you got the flag pattern, not a whole lot of volume, but it is a little perking volume, and it descended, and then volume came in. You got the squeeze. And I'm gonna go to the 1 year, 4 year real quick. $2. Oh yes, $2 was the all-time high. I don't think it's the all-time high. Yeah, definitely not the all-time high. But at 1 year high, $2 is the 1 year high. Let's see. And that's basically where I thought like I would have taken that snipe. You could have taken the snipe from the mid to high 150s and sold into the high 190s when you thought, 2 was resistance and it could stuff, which it did. But it held VWAP, held trend, made higher lows, had another flag here, and it squeezed up into the high 2s, basically touched 3 before fading. And if you want to be, take this seriously, you're going to have bad days, you're going to have losses, but you need to show up every day and be prepared. Because if you're not, you're going to miss plays and miss opportunities. And then you're just going to want to smack yourself because you slept in, you got lazy, and then you missed a great opportunity that could have made up for your loss that you had overnight. There's a little rant there, but yeah, just if you want to do this, you got to take it seriously. You got to come prepared every day. So that ended up fading into the close. And as you can see, it had a hard time trying to hold VWAP, and it just was very bearish. Oh my God, this stock pissed me off today. So I traded this like 3 times. I'm trying to think of how I traded it again. I was watching it in here. Okay. Let me go to the 1 year for you. So gap down, faded, got a perk on volume. And we've been testing this gap fill kind of level, like 160. It topped out at like 170 and consolidated for a few days. Now we're finally breaking out. So me, myself, and I love breakouts. So I was watching this like a hawk. Ended up taking some shares in here on this candle here in the low 170s once it was really kind of holding and then started to perk off. Ended up just stopping out right away, which was annoying. And then I'm trying to remember how I traded it. I think I traded it. Yeah, I bought some more shares here. When holding VWAP, making higher lows, we perked through, dipped, perked through again, made a higher high, dipped, basically held. We're starting to perk through, snagged some shares at 170, ended up cutting it. And then I really just kind of stopped watching it until here I saw it was kind of perking back towards high of day, and was just like kind of over it. At that time I was watching IINN, and just kind of took my eyes off this, and it really held to a T on this last dip. Held, as you see, some volume started to come in and got the squeeze I wanted, and so I missed out on this whole move. And Fatty nailed this, and so I'm sure he'll be making a video lesson. I'll post it later. But yeah, he nailed it. I missed it. I was upset, and that is that. Went over that. Nothing really there. As you can see, you can kind of see the flag pattern here. I didn't trade this, but I was also just so busy at work, and I was out in a place where I didn't have very good service, and so trying to load the charts was a pain in the ass and wasn't really worth trying to trade. You can even see it again here. I love this freaking flag pattern, man. It's beautiful. And this is just where you're trying to see the trend, and you could pick entries here. You know what I mean? Sometimes when I was trying to find consistency, it was picking my entry at the right times, because I can find the stocks. I know what I'm looking for. It was picking my entries without like getting stopped out all the time, because listed stocks are choppy, and so it's a hard time. It's hard to not get stopped out on some of these. And so doing this flag kind of pattern here really helps me with my entries and my exits. HX was one I traded yesterday. Took a nice little snipe on that. 1 year. Okay, so yeah, recent runner, and then you're just looking for the multi-day bounce. So usually it's a stock that pushes 300% or more. What should have like a decent multi-day bounce. If you know Tim Sykes and seen his framework DVD, it's the number 5 pattern. But yeah, and then how Tim Gertani trades these is basically he lets it set a high, and then you're waiting for the high of day break, basically. But I saw this as an open price play. Like 564 is where it opened, and kind of just was doing its thing in the morning, and then faded, and then and then volume came in. We perked through open price. So I took a snipe. I bought some shares here and didn't sell into this pop. Stopped out right here on this candle. Ended up holding really nicely. Snagged some more shares at like 570, and got a nice push and sold at like 630. Not the best sell, but took, I forgot what it was, like at least 10%. Taking your snipes, take the meat of the move. And that was basically that. I know Fatty, I don't want to go over Fatty's trades. I'll let him do it himself, but he was holding some shares overnight and was looking for a gap up and some kind of push, day 2 push, and just didn't get it. So he had a rough morning with some overnights, because he was also in BKKT XELA, and it just didn't work out. But that was basically that. I know Prague was progging annoying. Let's see. I traded this the other day as a breakout over. How was I trading it? I think I was looking for a breakout. I don't know. I traded it a couple times in here. Never, didn't sell into the push. Cut it a couple times, couple scratches in this choppiness, and then just took some small losses on it. I'm trying to remember exactly how I traded it, but it was just dumb. Took some small scratches on it, a couple small losses. And of course, this is the one that gets the gap up. But it does wash out. I mean, you can't buy or sell in here. You have to wait till like, I think at least 4 o'clock. So it would have been rough. But WTRH. Did I already go over this? Yeah, I already went over this. So yeah, that's basically it. Just a few trades. Can definitely do better. And I mean, I'm doing better than what I was, but can still definitely do much better than what I'm doing. So there's just so much to improve. I'm just happy this market is heating back up, and I'm hoping that I can keep trading small size, stay consistent, get confident, and then maybe in a few weeks start sizing up and then start making some real money. So that's the plan. Still working full time and trying to trade at the same time, which is very difficult, and it's a big pain in the ass. You know, it's like tying one hand behind my back, basically. So I have about 4 more months until I'm thinking about putting in my 2 weeks and gonna work part-time somewhere in the evenings and just trade full-time during the day, and then hopefully never look back from there. You know, got to take that leap of faith. So still plan on doing that. We're actually really excited for that because I would love to just sit here and watch the market and give it my full attention. But yeah, those are the plays from today and from yesterday. You know, play of the day was IINN. Jesus, I can't talk. IINN. We'll definitely keep this on watch for tomorrow since it is all-time highs, low float with news. Just definitely something you're going to want to keep an eye on for tomorrow, especially if this fails to break down. It's holding 6 right now really well, so I'd love to see how this opens. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it made sense. And if there's anything I can do, you know, better, please let us know. Please leave us a comment if you're in a trade, or if you want to talk about stocks or anything like that. Whatever it is, feel free to hit us up, please. Check us out on social media, on Instagram. I don't think we have a Twitter yet, but check us out on Instagram. It's just Pack a Punch Traders. And you know, we'd love to hear from you guys. You know, we'd love to see the new subscribers and love how this is going. And if for some reason you comment on YouTube, for some reason I haven't been able to view all the comments, and some comments I can view and reply, some comments I can't even view them. It's really weird, so I'm trying to figure that out. So I apologize if you've commented on one of our videos before and haven't gotten a response from us. If that's the case, please follow us on Instagram, send us a message, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. I promise you that. I'm always checking it, always on there. And so love to hear from you guys, and just love to talk stocks, really. This is my life. This is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. And just love to talk about it. Love to see how you guys are trading and how you guys are thinking and how you guys are doing, and you know, let's just grow together. I love the community and just want everybody to do this and be able to do it for a long time, and just fucking, I can't even talk right now because I'm actually just fucking hyped because I just love that the market's heating up. I love the opportunities, and I want to see everybody just killing it. So hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this all made sense. Like and subscribe if you're new to the channel and enjoy our content, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow on the next one. Peace.